Well, for me, it's very important that after 10 years of being here, that we wrap up Clark Kent. From day one, it's always been about who this character has been before he becomes Superman. And I think that that's still a very true statement for the show, and I think it's a theme that I hope to accomplish. 10 years has been fantastic, surrounded by really great people who care and work really hard, a lot of dedication. Um, Three things that I think you need in order to survive this long, now that we've done it. And I think those are key elements to why we're still here. The fourth element would be the fans, because if they weren't watching, we wouldn't have lasted even a year. I think for me, the one scene and the one moment are sort of the same, and it would be Christopher Reeve, working with him, being able to go to New York and working with him for the day. I mean, it was just such an inspiration, and it was such a fantastic scene, and even for the show, it was a big moment for Clark that really set him up for the rest of the series. And to be able to experience that was very special. He shows up today, and it's like he never left, and we just fell right back into having fun and having a great time, and I realize how much I think I've missed him, and how fantastic it is to see him again and be able to work with him, and that's been a lot of fun. With Lex Luthor being back, I think that there's no better way for Clark to transform into Superman without Lex being part of it. There is no Superman without Lex, that's for sure. The Clark and Lois relationship is a complicated one. And not only does Clark have to juggle a lot for himself, but Lois has a lot to deal with as being the other side of the relationship. They find a version of balance as the series comes to an end. I think it's a very good balance that'll last them a long time, but it's not a simple one, and I think it's exciting. Well, I would say that if this series was about one thing, it would be identity and Clark's search for who he is. And along the journey, he's had to deal with two fathers, one being from another planet who's not necessarily alive, and the other who's very much alive, who has a very strong moral center. And even though Jonathan had passed a few seasons ago, he's still very much a part of Clark's everyday life, where Jor-El is sometimes distant, sometimes cold, sometimes more scientific. And it's those two balances, I think, that were Clark's had to deal with who he is. Is he more like Jor-El? Is he more like Jonathan? And I think what we find out toward the end is that Clark has to figure out that who he is himself, and that he doesn't have to be anyone else. And it's finding that within himself, which I think will help him move on to being who we all know he's going to be.